Hey everybody, Red X Rain here, with another episode of Let's Play Space Station Silicon Valley for the Nintendo 64. So we're pretty, just sort of got started here. And so last time I finished the first two levels, which were pretty simple, pretty direct, especially the first one. Went over some of the game mechanics, we got those. So let's move on to the next level, level number 3, Honeymoon Lagoon. Let's see what we're doing here. So, electric fence, link to the big machine, play around with it, see what happens. Bringing back something soft and fluffy to hug, kind of creepy McCreeperson there. Okay, that's what we're doing. We're deactivating a big machine, an electric fence, and getting something soft and fluffy for Dan to hug, apparently. Alright, so this is the first level that's actually somewhat of a challenge if you don't know what you're doing. I feel like this is the first level where you could like legitimately die at the hands of an enemy. But before we get there, we want to go over here to said big machine. You can see there's some power cells in there, but we can't quite get to them. So first we're just gonna go around with the little mouse here, little racing mouse. Just gotta touch the switches. You don't need to press any special buttons on the remote. Usually the environment just kind of interacts with, the animals just touching stuff kind of thing. So that releases those, plus it does our objective. Now this part, it's more important that you hit all the switches in time. It's pretty generous, but I don't know, each button stays down for, I don't know, let's say 10 seconds. I don't know what the exact number is. So, you know, if you miss a power cell, it's not a big deal. And here, with a very tricky camera angle, I don't think I made it. So what I'm trying to do is, well, I'm sure you saw it. I was trying to fly through that ring, and the camera angle on this slope makes it pretty strange. There we go, I got it. I mean, I guess it's nice that they keep it to the side, because really all you need to do is push left, even though it feels like you should be pushing the other way so that you don't fall off, but they kind of help you there. But this all has to do these blue rings, which actually there's one more over here. But I'm gonna go ahead and grab the power cell first, just to make sure I don't miss it. I'm gonna come back here anyway, but why not? And just sort of line up my shot. This one's a lot easier because it's a straight shot. There we go. This is all has nothing to do with the main objectives. This is everything to do with getting the souvenir for this level. Now here's the one area where you might die if you don't know what you're doing. So you can see these, we can't quite tell what they are, but I know that they're foxes. And they're not super strong enemies, but they're very strong for the racing mouse to take on. So you really just want to run past them, which is interesting because, you know, this is the first level where, the very first level, there was nothing but sheep. They can't attack you, so you could just kill them all if you wanted to. You don't need to, but you can. Second level, yeah, it had that one dog, but it's not really a huge threat. I think there's a circle down there, so let's just make sure I get this. Nice, not too hard, but you can kind of overshoot that one. Let's take out one of these sheep real quick. So you can see just how strong, actually, comparatively, the racing mouse is pretty strong when you can get the attack to actually hit. It's a very sort of tricky attack to have to do, and we already activated the teleporter. Very tricky attack to do because you have to be literally bumping into the enemy that's usually attacking you. But of course the sheep can't attack, so the worst that can happen is you miss and you have to wait for your attack bar to fill back up. But yeah, anyway, so the first two levels, not really big threats, but this is the first level that kind of introduces you to the idea that just because you see an enemy, don't immediately assume that you need to attack it and kill it. Usually that's okay to do, but not always, and this is one level that definitely teaches you that. You can beat the foxes as the racing mouse, but it's neither necessary nor suggested. There's a really weird animal over here that we're not really going to use, but I just kind of want to show it off because it is so weird. It's a springy thingy. Not springy sheep. I feel like that would have made some sense. I mean, springy thingy makes sense too, but it's still kind of weird. It's pretty much identical in terms of its its mass and its armor, its intelligence and everything to the regular sheep. But of course, as you can see, it has a spring, which isn't showing us much here. But if I get onto this platform, you can see how this guy controls. I really don't know why this is here in this level, because yeah, see, it can jump higher and farther and I guess better, but it can't do the floaty thing that regular sheep do. So I don't really know why it's here in this level. Again, maybe it's, well, I guess it's kind of maybe the same logic that goes along with the foxes being here. Is to just kind of illustrate to you, not every animal you're going to encounter is going to necessarily help you complete objectives. Sometimes there's just animals there that you don't need to occupy. But again, we haven't really seen that yet, because in all the previous levels you have had to, attack all the animals and use them for some purpose. So I guess it's kind of, introducing you to that idea. Okay, so by flying through all the rings, we get the souvenir. Not too bad. And just like that, I made a nice efficient path. You'd think I'd played this game before or something, right? Nice efficient path through here. Getting the souvenir and the last of the power cells. Nice. Last of the power cells in the same little area there. And so yeah, that's it actually. And we could float over there and to make landing on the teleporter easier, but the shadows are pretty good, so you can usually tell, just let go of A and there we go. Not too bad. I was gonna say, I feel like that took me even less time than the first level, but that's probably because I was talking about the controls in the first level and all that kind of stuff. So, okay, so after beating 3 levels in any zone, as you can see, you got 1, 2, 3, we can go to the next sort of themed part of the game. So there's 4 different environments, I guess that's a better way to say it. Now we're in the Europe part, but there's also an ice level, desert, and jungle. Okay, so the farm's gone to the dogs, Mutts took over the farmhouse, more electric fences, grow some carrots. Oh, okay. Grow some carrots, and switch off the electric... Oh, and the bridge sections. Okay, alright. So, this will also illustrate something kind of different. So, right, the last level, I went to the teleporter as a sheep, but as you can see, I'm the racing mouse here. All of the levels have a set starting animal, which I guess makes sense because, if you take a break from the game and then come back to it, what would it give you? So it doesn't matter what level what animal you exit as at any given level. It's always there's always just one, sort of pre-programmed selected animal for each level. Now you might be able to see him here. You can see him better here. Kind of zipping around really fast. That's a racing mouse for you. There's a ram that's mixed in with these sheep, and we do want to take him out. Grab health while we can, because he's hitting us pretty hard. It's actually a pretty decent attack. And again, this is an example of there we go. Got him cornered. Perfect. Yeah. See, it's all a matter of the racing mouse is good, but you gotta know that you're probably gonna take some hits. Okay, so he can jump, but he can't do the floaty thing like sheep. The headbutt, which we saw him use against us, it's a pretty good attack. Everything else is pretty basic, comparable to the sheep. And I'm also gonna go, and this seems unnecessary, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take out all these sheep. Come on. At least they don't fight back, right? Actually, it might be easier for me, just faster, to use the racing mouse. I don't know if that's actually true, but let's see. Kind of making the ram seem useless, aren't I? It's a pretty good animal. There we go. But yeah, he took out a lot of health, actually, trying to get this ram. So let me go ahead. Thankfully, they put a ton of health over here. But I'm actually not going to break this box. I'm going to push it over. And I'm going to use it first to hopefully jump up here and get that power cell. Let's see. Try and wedge it right against a wall, you know, so it doesn't move. There we go. And now I can take out any of these boxes and get more health. That's pretty good, but we got so much. Let's go ahead and fill it all the way up. We've got 2 extras if we need it later, which we might. Okay, I think I took out all of these sheep. Let me just make sure. Actually, I want to grab a sheep anyway. Because we need its floating ability. While I'm just sort of getting to this point here where... Oh, I think there's a power cell over here that I missed, right? Is it there? Yeah. Cool. So one of the things that I mentioned last time, kind of about like the look and the design of the game, was that I had mentioned that kind of reminds me like it could be a bullfrog game, especially in its human design. But I didn't talk about who actually designed this game, and it was actually a big surprise to me. I didn't know this at the time. By the way, we can see there's a dog over there, and since it's something that can attack us, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get the ram again, because the sheep stands no chance. Yeah, no, I was actually really surprised, and it's probably because this game, Space Station Silicon Valley, came out in '98, and just a couple of years after that, the company that developed this game, DMA Design, might not sound too familiar. They had some success with Lemmings. Lemmings was kind of their big popular game. I'm going to turn this on because sometimes this dog actually kills himself. He'll just run into it and get squished. Not always. Let's see if it happens. Oops. Oh! No, let him go around again. So yeah, DMA Design developed this game, mostly known for Lemmings. Also kind of has a strange sort of sense of humor about it, and maybe a couple other games, but that's really their big one. But then, just a few short years, literally a couple, oh, come on, man, after, I'm just gonna take this guy out, and it's a rocket dog, which is pretty sweet. We saw him before, we raced against him as, the racing mouse in the second level, but now we actually get to take control of one. And despite him having rockets, he's really not very good. I think they have low intelligence. He usually fires once, runs away, and kind of takes a long time in between attacking, so... Yeah, we're going to take a couple of hits here, but it's not too bad. Plus, again, plenty of health in this level, so... But yeah, shortly after this game, as I was saying, DMA Design changed its name to Rockstar North. May have heard of Rockstar Games? Yeah, that very same Rockstar Games. They would go on to develop one of the biggest selling... I think it may be even... Correct me if I'm wrong. It could be the biggest selling game on the PlayStation, right? Was Grand Theft Auto 3. I mean, it was certainly one of the most popular games. I don't know. I feel like it might hold the record for the highest selling game on that system. So it's interesting what I mean, this game is. I don't want to. When I say it's childish, I don't mean it in like a pejorative way, but it's whimsical, it's quirky, it's fun. That then the very same people in a very short amount of time would go on to make Grand Theft Auto, which is infamous for any number of reasons. And the publisher too, Take-Two Interactive, for this game. Again, same sort of story. Later developed into Rockstar Games. So I got some power cells up here. This isn't really necessary. Sometimes there's cameras that take you on sort of a tour of the level to kind of show you what's up ahead. I already know what's up ahead, so I'm just going to skip it, but that's what those are for. It's really better for first-time players, so you're not surprised usually by stronger enemies ahead. That's usually what it helps you with. Oops, didn't quite make it. Nope. That's okay, we'll just ride this back up. Gotta be careful not to get under it, though, because it will squish us and, at this point, probably kill us in one hit. Might get away with 2 with this much health, but why risk it, right? Just get a couple of power cells. Ooh, oh, okay. Alright. And let's see, what else do we gotta do? So, we've used the sheep for most. There's just one more thing I want to do here. One more thing we have to do. And that is once I find it, hold on, is raise the bridge over here so that we can get across as more than just the sheep. And you'll see there's some foxes over there. We can't do anything about it as the sheep either, so we want to be able to get the rocket dog over here because he'll make very quick work of them very shortly. But I just want to get over here really quick. We can kind of outrun him if we know where we're going. There we go. And I want to try and get onto that ledge there. Pretty good. Oh no! Ah, okay. Yeah, because you can't make it that way. Yeah, the foxes are really annoying. Their attack is super strong, as you can see. They're very persistent. As a result of them having very high intelligence. We'll see that when I take one of them out and inhabit them for a second. Yeah, very high intelligence. They're pretty pursuant. The one nice thing is that they usually stick to like I was gonna say like a routine, but they have very set paths, and usually as long as you don't get into those paths, it's not a big deal. You can avoid them pretty easily, but once they see you, man, they come right after you, and they're pretty strong. And so we'll raise this up really quick, and I think that's the last piece. It should... Does that make the teleporter active? It might. Because we grew the carrots. Oh no, we didn't turn off the electric fence, that's right. Okay, so we gotta get a couple more power cells, right? Yeah, the electric fence, okay. Alright, so let's check out this rocket dog, give him a... more what he's due, because he's a great animal. So that was the... right there, that's the purpose of floating the sheep over to the... that wheel or valve or whatever it was, so that we can get those power cells. I'll probably be fine without health. Thankfully, the rocket dog is not, or it does have good water resistance. I feel like that's something that they probably could have done to make it a little challenging. He can't jump though, so we gotta get across the bridge this way. So one cool thing is that as you get closer and further away from speakers, the music goes louder or quieter. And when you have rockets, there's a couple of animals that have rockets, you can blow them up, which is pretty cool, and then it makes the whole level quiet, which is kind of neat. You know, it's a little extra thing that you don't need to do, but it's kind of fun environment interaction. Everyone likes that. So there's our trophy or souvenir for the level. Yeah, what you got to do is, I thought originally that you had to kill all the animals, which I do anyway, but it's really, you only have to kill all the sheep. So this is nice. You can sort of just kind of snipe the fox from up here. Got him, no problem. This one's a little trickier, but basically, as long as we don't go past this hedge, he won't come for us. So it's just a matter of biding your time and making sure that the camera is not your enemy. It's getting a little too close. Yep. Yeah. So see, they stick to very set paths, so that's good. Don't know what that says about their intelligence, but you know, sweet. And I could hop into the fox if I wanted to, but I'm actually gonna save that for a second because we need to be the dog to activate this. Sometimes those little buttons are animal specific. It'll say like, you need something heavier or not authorized or something like that. So you have to go with that one. You have to go in as the dog. We'll check out the fox real quick, even though we don't need to, because all the animals are dead and it doesn't really serve any functional purpose in this level. But they have a very unusual skill for A. They have teleport. The tail attack, you could see, very high intelligence. Yeah. So the tail attack is weird. It's pretty strong. It kind of swipes. The good thing about it is that you can do it for a long time. It takes a long time for the power to kind of go away on that one. Also, it has this weird teleport ability that just kind of sets it zooming forward a couple feet, I guess. really not very functional at all. So, I mean, that's the fox. I don't particularly care for the fox at all, to be quite honest. So we're almost done here. Obviously, everything's dead. But I want to get over here as the sheep for a couple of reasons. We need to get the trophy, and we have a couple more power cells to get. And they're on top of the roof of this building, this little house. And it looks like you can't quite make it, but the sheep can't do much, but one thing they can do is float. They float pretty good. So got that one, and there's gonna be one behind the house that we have to get. But let's go ahead and grab the trophy. It's kind of sick that you, in order to get the trophy, you have to kill all the sheep, and then you have to become a sheep to get said trophy. It's kind of dark. Maybe this game isn't all that, maybe this game isn't all that different from Grand Theft Auto. Just kill everybody. Yeah. Okay, so I think we got the chime there, letting us know that we got all the power cells. And yeah, teleporter's active now because we turned off the electric fence with the dog, so we're all good. Oh, I almost forgot. While I'm thinking about it, that little like victory music, it actually shows up in Grand Theft Auto 2, which like nobody plays. It shows up in Grand Theft Auto 2 when you sometimes on the radio, so it's kind of an interesting little Easter egg in that game. That game again that nobody plays anyway. It's kind of fun that they remembered their roots when they came back to Grand Theft Auto. So. Just a little bonus trivia for you there. But anyway, so that's 2 levels down and almost, 22 minutes. So this seems like a good place to take a break. So, as always, thanks for watching. Please like, please comment, please subscribe. I always appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next time when we see what's going on in the engine room. Till then, bye.